Ladies and gentlemen, the atmosphere in Gaza is growing in tension and concern. A faction of the Hamas military forces, the Al-Qassam Brigades, launched an assault on the Israeli cities of Haifa and Tel Aviv using R-160 missiles. The Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, promptly countered with a rapid ground invasion into the Gaza Strip, involving a squadron of about 10 tanks, while simultaneously increasing their airstrikes and artillery fire on several cities and towns across Gaza. The number of casualties has surged past 7,000, with roughly half of Gaza's residential buildings either demolished or damaged. In light of these events, the Pentagon announced on the 26th of October that an estimated 900 U.S. soldiers have been dispatched to the Middle East to bolster the security of U.S. forces stationed there. The U.S. Department of Defense spokesperson Patrick Ryder stated that these troops are drawn from the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense (THAAD) system, the Patriot missile defense, and the Avenger air defense systems located in various U.S. states. These units have not been sent to Israel but are intended to enhance deterrence efforts and provide additional protection to U.S. forces operating in the Middle East. Guarding U.S. forces in the region among the top 3 priorities for the U.S. Department of Defense. 2 other primary objectives since the Hamas assault on Israel are to uphold Israel's right to self-defense and prevent the hostilities from spreading across the region. Prior to this, the U.S. had already dispatched 2 carrier strike groups, supported by warships and fighter jets, to the Middle East to safeguard U.S. military personnel and maintain regional stability. Between October 17th and October 26th, U.S. and allied forces have come under attack no less than 12 times in Iraq and 4 times in Syria, with the assailants employing a mix of drones and rocket strikes. These numbers will be updated as more information emerges. Palestinian health authorities disclosed on the evening of October 26 that nearly 500 individuals have lost their lives and over 1,000 have been wounded in the recent Israeli military operations. This brings the total casualties since October 7th to more than 7,000 deaths and 19,000 injuries, the majority of which are civilians. Furthermore, close to 1,650 individuals are unaccounted for and feared to be buried beneath the rubble resulting from the airstrikes. In terms of humanitarian actions, an extra 12 global aid convoys were given clearance on the 26th of October to pass through the Rafah border from Egypt into Gaza. This convoy brought in further medical supplies and aid. This follows a number of previous aid shipments that delivered crucial items such as medicine, medical apparatus, water, and food to Gaza. From the start of the conflict on the 7th of October, Gaza has received a total of 74 global humanitarian relief convoys. Yet, international relief bodies working within Gaza have reported that these efforts only meet less than 10% of the real needs of the region's 2.5 million residents. In a parallel event on the 25th of October, a militant faction of Hamas announced the launch of a long-distance missile, the R-160, targeting the Israeli city of Haifa, one of the largest cities in the country with a significant port. This event marks the initiation of Hamas's use of long-range missiles against Haifa. The Israeli military responded, stating that a long-range missile launched from Gaza set off air raid alarms in several towns to the south of Haifa, with the missile exploding mid-air. No casualties were reported. The current situation in Gaza remains extremely unpredictable, with no signs of de-escalation from either Israel or Hamas. At present, Middle Eastern nations alongside the global community are striving to diminish the tensions in Gaza. Most recently, U.S. President Joe Biden reiterated America's support for a peaceful 2-state solution for Israelis and Palestinians. In an appeal to all relevant parties and international leaders, there was a call for the establishment of peace amidst the ongoing strife. The U.S. Special Envoy for the Middle East, Barbara Leaf, initiated a visit to the Middle East on that very day. The purpose of her visit was to engage in consultations with the representatives of the U.S.'s regional partners to curb the escalating conflict. Meanwhile, October 25th marked a significant turn of events, when the U.S. Congress resumed their operations following Congressman Jim Johnson's appointment as the new House Speaker. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a robust resolution endorsing Israel, specifically its self-defense rights. With overwhelming support of 412 votes, the Stand with Israel Act was approved. This act is the first legislative document passed under the new Speaker. The lawmaking process in the House had been in hiatus after the displacement of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, leading to a 3-week delay in selecting his successor. Moreover, on the same day, a meeting with the leaders of the United Arab Emirates, President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and German Prime Minister Olaf Scholz took place. The German government gave its word to persist in its attempts to safeguard civilians and enable humanitarian support and aid to reach Gaza. The German officials advocated for the conditions allowing for the import of humanitarian goods to Gaza, possibly through the formation of humanitarian windows or designated time slots for supply deliveries to the local populace. To recap, the circumstances in Gaza are constantly changing due to ongoing military operations, an increasing death toll, and global initiatives aimed at delivering humanitarian aid and pursuing a peaceful resolution. We appreciate your time and attention to this update, and until our next report, farewell.